Okay, hello and welcome to the Semifinals Showcase for Advanced Taiko Frontier. I'm Ethereal Winter. I will be one of your commentators today. I'm joined here with...
Yeah, my name is Darokana Boy, aka Aguacate. Yeah, it is a little bit like we're both a little bit tired, but nonetheless, we are here to commentate the showcase for the semifinals. And honestly, the map pool should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very exciting pool. I've had the honor of seeing it, and I think it's definitely going to challenge people a lot more than it has in the prior weeks, of course, now that we have stepped into semi-finals. I think we'll be seeing some very interesting matchups and some very, very exciting maps to come. So, I think we should just jump right into it. So, your Nomad 1, here we go. Celeste Vistras. I can't speak today. My apologies. So this is Nomad 1, branching into slightly higher territory than we have previously. I believe this was a 7-star map, if I'm not mistaken. This is your consistency map. I will say that although this is consistency map, it is still going to be very, very challenging at this point. There is a lot of 1-6 and things throughout this map, and a lot of finishers as well.
Also slight entry into the stringy territory, even though the preparation for it would be a little bit later. But yeah, the fact that the snappings change, it might be already painful for some lower city teams or some teams who have not prepared as well. But alas, it's gonna be a great Taiko season today. Or well, this weekend.
Yeah, so we're definitely stepping up in regards to the difficulty on the consistency map this week. As I say, I believe this is our first 7-star. I don't think we've had a 7-star until now, so our Nomad 1 will be the one starting the trend. This is, I believe, the only 7-star of this pool though, as is quite common for a Nomad 1. As you can see, there is a lot of 1-6 throughout this map, and there are definitely some incorporations of streams into your Nomad 1s now. Definitely quite challenging. I still expect to see some pretty good scores being set by certain players within this tournament. I think there are a lot of eyes focusing on specific teams here, and it'll be intriguing to see exactly how well they're performing in this particular pool. But yeah, coming into the quarter of the map here, lots of finishers to miss. Do not skip your finishers, people. It can be all the difference.
Oh yeah, the fact that this is a slightly slower section that might build up a little bit of a nerve towards the ending. And the SC just goes. It just goes.
Yeah. So, without that, we have an incredible replay by, I believe, Yasuo. Amazing score being set there, of course. So big thanks to Yasuo for providing this replay here on his own map. We love it. A little bit of a mapper buff, who knows? We'll see. Alright.
I mean, honestly, you map, you replay, that's a goated behavior, and we shall move to Nomad 2, which is a little bit familiar for some.
So of course, Nomad 2 is our speed pick. We're stepping up again. You know, people are performing too well on these, so we've got to step up the difficulty a bit. We've got quite intensive speeds. I would say that this map overall is pretty simple. There are a lot of finishers again. You'll find that is a recurring theme throughout the entirety of this pool. There are so many finishers in this pool. But this map, it's pretty simplistic, it's pretty straightforward. It is just your standard Nomad 2 being ramped up a bit in difficulty. Yeah, I mean, I think speed players will love this. I think it's pretty straightforward. Those who struggle a bit more with speed, probably not going to enjoy this one quite as much, but I would think this is probably one of the least scary maps for players in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't really look that scary considering that they're like the patterns look pretty simplish. There is nothing too scary makes it or too difficult. And again, the song is enjoyable, which makes it all better.
Yeah, so this is a 280 BPM song. As you can see, it's a 6.8 stars. So while the War Nomad one is our only 7 star, this one's not very far off of it. But that is to be expected from our speed map. Overall, as I say, I think we'll see a lot of people performing quite strongly in this map. As you can see, the replayer holding on very, very strong here. Million Master D. I wonder who that could be. I have a clue of who it actually is, but we will leave it at that.
Yeah, I guess we are leaving secrets for later. But you know,
there's MMD right there. I love that MMD.
Oh yeah.
But I do believe that this was a replayer that does begin with a capital M. A very, very well-known player within the Taiko community as well.
Oh god.
Yeah, this part...
I guess there is a little bit of a major explosion towards the end.
Yeah, a little bit as we extend the song. This part's definitely a wee bit more of a difficulty spike up at the end. Could potentially see some misses or some accuracy drops, but overall I think this will be one of the more comfortable maps for players within the pool, just because if you can play speed, it's relatively simple. The patterns are not complicated. And of course, timing is not too bad when it comes to speed. So yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to
we have No Mod 3. So No Mod 3 is of course. Thank you.
I mean, indeed fish. Yeah, the replayer is indeed fish.
Yeah. So, yeah, moving on. This is No Mod 3. As you guys know the drill already, we are moving into our technical map. This map, I don't know, it's not awful. If you're competent with tech and stuff, this won't be too bad, but I can see a lot of accuracy struggles throughout this map. Being a tech player myself, yeah, this one's quite hard timing-wise. Granted, I'm not of the skill level of this tournament, but it's a fun map nonetheless. It's just challenging. Being 188 PM. Yeah. I will say, one thing that I acknowledged immediately of this No Mod 3 is it's reasonably fast for a tech map. Typically, they're a little bit slower. This one, as I say, being around 188 BPM. There's some isolated snappings that can make this quite tricky in regards to accuracy. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid map, pretty fun. Classic Yagisma tech map.
You know, while you were debating on who the replayer was on the previous map, and we didn't reveal this, at least in this, the fish replayer is way more familiar, I'd say.
Well,
and
yeah.
It has a specific taste.
Yes, there is a type of fish that is heavily relevant to the country that this replayer is from.
You might as well say the country before the fish, and you'll know who the replayer is. But alas, the map, it is quite cool actually.
Yeah, so like I say, it's not easy, of course, I'm not going to say that. It's quite fast compared to your standard tech maps, but the only problem's really the isolated snappings. It's quite fast. Apart from that, I believe this should be quite comfortable for tech players. Of course, accuracy being the biggest thing when it comes to tech every single time. I think we can still expect to see some pretty good scores coming in. So, moving on, we have
jumping instantly to No Mod 4. Pretty familiar song to a number of players. One of the songs that I actually started playing Taiko from is Sing to the Deep Sea World. Not the remix though. The remix is an interesting one, and the the replayer names are getting weirder and weirder, and that is a riddle that we might not even get this time.
No, I'm very well aware who this mapper is. Well, this replayer is, I mean. This replayer is also a mapper, is what I was going to say. Beginning with the letter M. Again, I'm not going to announce names, because there is a reason. We just see specific parts of replayer and not their full names. But a very, very well-known individual within the Taiko community regardless. And perhaps there's been a reference to them throughout this poll so far, who knows?
Yeah, and also, oh wow, the song goes really nice.
Yeah, so Nomad 4, of course, being your sort of stamina map, focusing on streams now, it's definitely been ramped up quite a bit. There's a lot of death streams in this map, so this will be challenging a lot of players just on their stamina straight up. There are some awkward patterns within the streams, but overall, I think with some practice, it's probably quite simple as long as you're comfortable with streaming. It is really going to be the stamina that drains people quite hard, I think, in this, especially when you're dealing with match nerves. Quite easy to make a little fumble here. With these being death streams, can be a little bit difficult to recover, but the one good thing about this map, it's not too high a BPM, so they're not too crazy. Yeah, just ramping it up in difficulty, of course.
And for some reason, a mono section, just to hurt your stamina even more.
It is indeed the replayer protection program. I don't think replayers really mind, but it's fun regardless to have a little guessing game about who they could possibly be.
That is true. That is true.
Got some little sliders. Make sure you're making the most of every single one of these slider ticks, guys. They're important. They can be all the difference with securing points.
Oh, I feel that there might be just like one specific match that decides that, nah, we're just like the score difference all in the sliders.
Players now will have had their little stamina break, so we're going to go straight back into the streams. Still about a quarter of the map as we enter straight into the next death streams. And it is this from here on out until the end of the map. So make sure you make the most of those breaks that you're getting in the middle of the map especially. There we go.
Again, just to point out, the remix is insane, and I love that the map is just like, the remix makes so much sense for this to be a stream map. And the streams are relentless. If you are not ready for this might be painful. Also, to note, length is 3 minutes and 52 seconds.
Well, that's exactly why I'm saying this is a stamina-based map. You're doing death streams with barely any breaks, and it is almost 4 minutes of full streams. So players definitely need to ensure that they're fully warmed up and their stamina's holding up for this one. Apart from that, as I say, there's some awkward patterns thrown into the streams, but if you're comfortable with streams, probably not too bad. It is very much just a stamina battle and accuracy battle between players. So yeah, that is your Nomad 4. Moving into Nomad 5, and perhaps one of my favourite maps of this entire pool. It's the Gimmick. We know I am a gimmick connoisseur. These are my favourites. So, this is our Nomad 5 gimmick pick.
Oh boy.
As you can see, the replayer being Surin.
Yeah, this time a replayer doesn't hide himself, unfortunately.
So, by this point, I'm sure most players already know what yellow notes mean, but for those of you who may not, your little yellow circles are dons and your big ones are kas. This map is very, very heavily focused on your reading ability. Apart from that, there's not too much complicated. We've got bar lines, thin lines being dons, thick lines being kas.
Hey, at least the patterns aren't that complex, but yeah, please do not play this.
Very fun.
Yeah, please do not play this map with big note skin, because I know some players do use it, and this will be just as painful to play it as some other trolley skins, so to speak.
To be fair, in a tournament setting, you shouldn't really be using a big note skin anyway. But
I mean,
regardless.
I just know some players who are preferring that type of skin.
So this map, very, very fun if you are a gimmick enjoyer. As you can see, you've got the yellow circles to try and hide the underlying ones. And here we have the little light up ones. In this situation, you can see all the dawns are lit up, all the cars are in their original color.
When
Very
are we getting
common
the
new
green
gimmick.
notes then?
We do not have green notes, I'm afraid.
So bad, so
Yeah,
bad.
the yellow notes and the light up notes, very, very common gimmicks you see in new maps. This incredible play, as I say, being done by Tyrion. This is such a fun map for gimmick enjoyers especially. I will say, lots of finishers, remember to hit them. I think if you enjoy gimmick and you know how to play gimmick, this is probably not too bad. For those who maybe have not got as much experience with yellow notes and reading gimmicks to this level, it's going to be a bit more challenging, but with practice, I think we can see some pretty good scores coming out on this map.
And now we're moving to
the EX map. Yeah. So this one, very, very fun as well. It's essentially another gimmick, but it's a beat map skin gimmick, guys. Make sure your beat map skin is enabled. Do not ignore it because you will suffer. In order to see the gimmick to its true potential, please, please, please make sure that the beat map skin is enabled. Of course.
Oh boy, I can already see what is going on, and honestly, this reminds me so much
if you want to
of
see
a
yellow,
recent one.
Yeah, if you want to see yellow circle in Slider Hell, then of course, I mean, technically you can disable the beatmap skin, but please don't. Enjoy the map. It is beautifully mapped. It is really, really well done. Again, this map is so fun. I love this map. It's very challenging though. There's definitely going to be some practice required here. SR being 11 technically, which is actually technically the highest star rating within the pool.
But we don't mind that because I think in the previous rounds there was a little bit of a higher SR. Also, this reminds me of Dart 5 synthesis so much.
Yeah.
But oh god, this is so painful at times if you do not know what goes on in this map.
See, I absolutely love maps like this. As you can see, you've got color flips happening. So it's definitely going to require some practice from players. You can see the color flips happening here. Dawns being turned into Kaz and Kaz being turned into Dawns. With enough practice and experience with this map, you'll be able to anticipate them. But we do have SV changes, which could throw players off. Not the easiest map to hack in general with just the dramatic changes in BPM. Obviously, claiming that it's 28 BPM, the map is not 28 BPM. But yeah, really, really, really fun map. I think it's really cool to see. I'm excited to see how players perform on this one. I think this one will definitely be a bit more challenging. I wouldn't be surprised to see people avoiding this map, just because it is definitely difficult.
Oh, and also, do you mind the length of it being at 3 minutes and 40 seconds? That is not an easy task stamina-wise, even though the map does give you some breaks and even free combo at times, just like this. Yeah, that long mono going back and forth.
I don't know, I love seeing maps like this. They're quite uncommon to see in tournaments. So I always get really, really excited seeing things like this.
Oh god.
There are a lot of troll notes.
Yeah, that is a little bit scary, but again, fun for some players. I'm kind of sad that the replayer here is Am and not Fish, because the Fish would fit in here so much better.
Well, there is a reason why replayer is M, and that is because it is the same M that we saw earlier in No Mod 4.
I know, but the Fish!
Well.
Yeah, quite Chasson, quite a cool map, a cool gimmick map.
As I say, I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of people ignoring this map or avoiding it, but I really like it. An incredible play as well, by the way. A 3-100 play is insane, so big shout out to the replayer, who I still will not name. But
And
moving
they're
on, we
moving
go straight into
hidden.
hidden. Yeah, so this is your hidden one, meaning that this is the speed hidden, being 240 BPM. This map is not to be taken lightly, although it's not that bad. You know, if you know Waribashi's maps, it is very much a comfy standard Waribashi map. If you can play speed hidden, you're gonna have basically no problems with this map.
And also, this is not even great theory playing, this is vanity.
Yep,
Yeah, a little bit of a curveball here.
Vanity, because it is indeed vanity that has provided the replay for us here.
Yeah, 240 BPM, it might be a little bit too painful for some players to play this map, but again, please do not forget finishers. There's a lot of them.
So this is another one in which I will say, I have said this about the entire pool, finishers are so prominent in this pool, and this map could be one in which finishers really make all the difference, because there are loads of them. It is a speed hidden. If you skip the finisher, chances are you're getting punished for it. So be very, very careful with that. But as I say, classic Waribashi map. It's comfortable, I think, for a lot of people who play speed. Completely out of my skill level, because I can't play speed, but I think there'll be a lot of people who really enjoy this.
The hidden will be the death of me, not the fact that it's 240 BPM. Like the BPM is kind of comfy. Like if you're playing Taiko for a long time, the BPM
I have been playing Taiko for over 5 years and I still can't play 240.
Buy BFKB, it'll solve your issues. But yeah, 100 gag,
this is what happens when you give yourself a hairline fracture from playing too many rhythm games. You can no longer play speed.
Oof. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a spike moment here, but again, not too many finishers. What we see, it's mostly the beginning and kind of the middle sections where the finishers reside. But hey, a funny and sometimes goofy chiptune song.
Yeah, like I say, I think people who enjoy speed hidden will really enjoy this map. For those who don't like speed or hidden, this is probably going to be your worst nightmare. But incredible play there by Vanity. Thank you.
I mean, there is also Hidden 2 that is a hell for some, and oh god, what is this background?
Hidden 2, aka Lunge. This is chill song. The map for a slow hidden starts off not too bad. I mean, I expect to see some very good plays from slow hidden players here. Players who have been participating in like finals, grand finals levels of tournaments, I would expect to be seeing some very good scores from them on slow hidden. But those who do not like slow hidden and who struggle with it, this is, yeah, probably going to be a lot of suffering for you. Overall, pretty chill map. The song's very chill. I mean, there's some reading issues, I would say, and that's pretty much the long and short of it. It's just, can you read slow hidden? Can you read 1/6?
And can you even hear the song, because it's a little bit on the quieter side, so you might have to bump up the volume for this a little bit higher than usual.
Yeah, so there is a bit later in this song that we will see that I would definitely say is more of a difficulty spike, and we may see some accuracy drops, at least in the first couple like plays. But if you practice this map, I don't think we'll see too many people suffering, as long as they're acquainted with it. Those who are not, as I say, this will be very painful. This part's nasty. This is the section I was talking about, around halfway through the map. Very easy to drop back here if you have not practiced it.
Yeah, the offbeats as well. Oh, that is painful.
I also will argue, as the statement I saw earlier about your muscles being jacked, I do aerial acrobatics, meaning you need a lot of muscle and strength within your arms and your shoulders and things, and I still cannot play speed. I used to when I was younger. I gave myself a hairline fracture from playing too many rhythm games, and now speed is literally impossible. It is not all about your muscles, believe me.
Gotta switch up the play styles and you know there's a player in the standard game mode that is playing with like drumming pedals. So you might want to switch the play style like significantly. That might work. Might not.
So again, a replay by the wonderful, mysterious M showing up, and I do believe we may potentially be seeing M for the next replay as well. Yeah, I think overall, if you're comfortable in slow hitting, this map won't be too hard or too bad. It'll take a little bit of practice, but I think there'll probably be some very, very good scores being set by some players, and others will be suffering a bit more. I wouldn't be surprised to see people dodging this one as well, especially it being a slow hitting. But yeah. Moving on to Hard Rock 1. Now, I believe that there is quite a bit of love for this map within the staff team for ATF. This is, of course, our one and only Rafalj, who has mapped this. This is called Brain Fryer. I think pretty much the only thing to say about this map is people adore it. Some snappings to focus on, but it is a HR1. Not much else to say about this particular one. If Rafalj wants to, I'm sure he will put some notes in the chat regarding this map.
Oh boy, the snappings are already here, and we're not even... we weren't even third of the way in that the snappings already hit hard like a train, and they will fry your brain if you're not careful enough about them, you know. You gotta hit them.
Yeah, so of course, the big thing about HR1 is it is very much focused on accuracy. I mean, all maps are, but this one especially always tends to be one because it is always that slightly more techy variant of Hard Rock. So it can be a bit more difficult. We can see that it has an OD of 9.38, being very, very close to OD 10. And we know how a lot of people feel about OD 10. So definitely not the easiest map to act, but like I say, I've only seen love, like nothing but love for this map, so I think their words speak a lot stronger than mine, as I am not a very cultured HR player. I think the song is great, and Rafalj did a great job at mapping this map, that's all I will say.
Indeed, the difficulty is there, it's ramping up towards the end. But oh boy. If this is what we're getting at semifinals, I wonder what is cooked for the latter.
Yeah, I believe this is quite an old map of Rafalj, but it stands up still in 2026. So good.
I mean, even 8, 10 years later, this map will be good.
Yeah, probably, honestly. It's just a very solid map. Yeah, like I say, lots of love towards it. A little bit of a stream there. And here we go into the last little one here. If you hit that, I think we'll be seeing some pretty good scores. Again, like I say, we have the mysterious M right there, hitting an SS on this replay. So, very, very, very impressive replay. But moving on, we go into our Hard Rock 2. You guys complained that the map was too easy, that Hard Rock 2 was not challenging enough. So, the wonderful map poolers have upped the difficulty for you.
The meal from Hard Rock 1 ending got cooked into Alter Egoism by lore. And oh boy, you are gonna be playing this. And also, to note, the SR is 7 stars.
So, this map very much here to counter everyone saying, oh, this HR2 is too easy. It's too easy, guys. This one is definitely a step up in difficulty, being a 7 star with an OD 9.1, around 220 BPM, but the scroll speed is very, very fast. Quite a lot of 1.6 thrown in here as well. What I will say is if you are oh my gosh, what's the word? If you are, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. If you know who Lars is and you know Lars' songs, I'm going to word it that way, then quite a lot of the changes are predictable.
Oh yeah, that is in fact, though. Sometimes Lord does throw off the genre hat, and the genres are not the usual things you would expect from him, but you know, it's still fun nonetheless.
Yeah,
And the fact that the changes in snapping, yeah, my English is being fried from the previous map, you know. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, way beyond my skill level, can't lie, but people wanted harder, they got harder. I'll be intrigued to see how people perform this coming weekend on this map. I think there will still be people not struggling too hard. The patterns themselves are not overly complicated, but it is fast and it only serves to get faster. We come into the outro right here and there's a full speed up here into the stream. And there we go. That is your hard rock too.
Yeah, please don't forget to hit that finisher, because I know some of you might not hit it.
So, with the hard rocks out of the way, we are moving on to DT1. I think this is, again, one of the more fun maps in the pool, in my personal opinion. Again, I am very much skill-shooed. I rely on tech, gimmick, and consistency. And SV, like, this one, fun. It's just fun. One thing to keep in mind, it is time to the vocals. So don't listen to the beat of the song so much. Focus on the vocals. Will help.
Oh yeah, it'll help them too, because God, the offbeats are annoying so much.
Yeah.
But again, just focus on the lyrics.
Yeah.
Also, hey, the syrup is back.
Yeah, it is indeed. It's just back. So, what I will say is, as I say, is vocally timed. There are quite a lot of 1/6s thrown in, as you can probably see. So just be very aware of that. It's going to hit a lot of people's act quite hard, I would think. I mean, DT1s are designed that way. They're meant to be the more technical side. 203 BPM. Reasonably, like, fast for DT1, but nothing that I would think anyone will be surprised by. And of course, a 9.89 OD, inching ever close to that 10 OD.
I guess when we come to the finals or grand finals weekends, we might as well see the OD go towards the 10.
I feel, there's not masses to comment on this map. I mean, it's a DT1. It's a very fun DT1. Like I say, keep in mind it is vocally timed. There's a lot of 1/6. I believe there are some 1/8 as well. This part right here can be quite awkward, I think, for people with timing. It's very easy to drop back in a section like that. Again, finishers everywhere. Make sure you're hitting them.
Hopefully you're not falling asleep towards the ending of that, because the map is on the lengthier side of things. And honestly, it is a little bit getting too difficult at the end. But again, the outro, you just need to hit it. Just don't drop too much accuracy, otherwise it's not going to be good for you.
This part right here is so easily chokeable, so just be careful, make sure you're practicing this, but yeah, that is your DT1, an incredible play there by, of course, the one and only Fish. And a Miyakishima map. Love it. Okay. So, moving on to DT2. Possibly one of my favorite songs in the pool. I can't lie. This song is very good. But
Just
DT2 is the bane of my existence.
receiving notifications that Million Master G is back! And we're getting closer and closer towards the tiebreaker territory. But yeah, this is gonna be, after 61 with monos and annoying doublets, it's gonna be painful.
Yeah, so I will say the song sounds a bit more intense than the actual map is. It's a pretty standard DT2. It's fast, and that is the main thing to keep in mind. Your act is going to be a bit more difficult, but with it being a faster map, it's not quite as awkward to act. Still very awkward, it's double time after all, but I expect to see some pretty good plays on this just from speed players, honestly. It's, again, lots of finishers though, don't skip them, but I feel the patterns are not too crazy. They're still relatively simple, so it will very much just be the speed in your reading.
Honestly, I can see her about just remapping just to Osaka World Cup later down the line next year.
All I know is I love Maruto's songs, so this song is definitely one of my favorites. That's all I know about this song.
It is your beloved.
It is my darling, of course.
Hey, a break section. Gain stamina. And then the bursts are there.
Yeah, straight back into it.
For all.
As I say, it's a DT2 map. I feel there's not too much more to comment on it other than that. It is quite awkward. There are quite random breaks throughout it. Not as intense as the song sounds like it will be. It's just very fast. Right, coming to exit here. More finishers. See, you do not want to skip your finishers.
Yeah,
But,
so it's just,
again,
it is a little bit on the awkward side and a little bit on the snappy side at times with the finishers. I guess that's it for the DTs for this time, and moving on to Flashlight, and oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. We have another wait a second, I know this replayer!
So, this is, of course, our flashlight for this poem. The map being around 1.5 minutes. If you notice, it is mapped by Nanana Yuta. And the replayer is newbie producer.
Well, the difficulty makes sense because it's an FL edit, but the replayer kind of gives it away. And again, I'm not gonna be saying who that is, because the map is a little bit too painful if you do not play FL like me. This is just painful to understand what is happening.
What I will say is this map is obviously short, being around 1.5 minutes. If I remember right, the combo is only around 500 and something. So it's very much probably a map people will focus on memorizing if you're going to be picking it. It could definitely be like a good one to pick for that. It's not too bad for reading until the end, in which the difficulty for this map definitely ramps up. As you can see, it's starting to pick up here. The very end of this map, though, is great. It's very simplistic. There you go. It's just kadon. But yeah, that is your flashlight. Brought to you by Nanana Yuta, the map. So, yeah. Moving on, we have our Force Mod 1. Of course. Played by... Yeah, for anybody who has missed that situation.
Care to explain to chat what happened?
So basically, our beloved Shinjin got silenced for 2 weeks. But it was a misunderstanding on Elsa's side. It's not at all anything that Xinjin has done. It was a complete mistake. But unfortunately, Bro is not in good standing because of it. But focusing on the map, this is of course Force Mod, so a reminder of the rules. I'm sure everyone knows by this point, but you have to have a combination of hidden and hard drop across your team, whether it's one person HDHRing, one person no modding, or one person taking a mod each, or whatever combination you like, as long as both mods are active across the team. That is what matters here. The map is quite fast, I would say, for a free mod 1. It's a bit of a higher BPM. But the definite difficult part of this map, I would say, is the 1-8 and the 1-6 that just randomly appear. They just spawn. Yeah. I don't think there's a particular mod that this one counters harder than the other. You can probably use either or both if you're brave. It's quite simplistic, minus those 1-6 and 1-8s. Again, finishers, guys.
That there might be like that one crazy person that just decides that, like, yeah, today I will HDHR this with 99.5 ag. But again, that is a whole little bit of a mystery who might do this and jump over the rainbow. But again, that's 3-1-1 for you. Kind of a balanced map, and now we're moving on to free mode 2.
Well,
another edit of the map. Well, Force mode 2. I'm a standard name. Well, I was.
So this particular map is your anti-mod. This is designed to destroy both skill sets. However, I would argue this map is definitely harder with hidden. It's not easy on hard rock by any means, but I would say that the hidden players do have this a little bit more difficult. Overall, I'll be intrigued to see how people perform. It's definitely going to take some practice. The song is a banger. I think everyone knows this song at this point. Rocket is very, very famous and so good. And again, we are joined by Replayer Fish. It is brought to you by Replayer.
The Swedish Fish is there. The Swedish Fish is there.
Okay, well.
Well, he wanted to reveal the replayers himself. That's on him. That's not my fault he does this.
Yeah, the song is such a banger. Like I say, I think it's definitely a little bit more brittle on hidden. Still brittle on both mods regardless. But I think with practice, we can probably still see some pretty good scores coming in from people. I think it is just one, you need to make sure that you have an understanding of what's coming up. I would definitely not go into this map blind.
Yeah, I'd rather not do this either, and honestly,
here we go.
Do you need to hit the ending, and oh boy, the ending might rock you.
Yeah. This song's so good.
It is. Kind of sad that it's on the shorter side, being a minute and 59 seconds.
I know, but I think if you were having to play that any longer with those mods, you'd be suffering. Of course, we see a beautiful no mod SS there from our replayer Fish, the one and only. But yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what people decide to do this coming weekend. I would be surprised to see some double mods. I kind of hope for players' sake that we see people just taking one mod at a time, but if we have people being brave and risking it, I'm more than excited to see that happening. But yeah, that is your Force mod. So, moving on to Tiebreaker. A beat map by the one and only Rafalge. Replayer M. The mysterious M has returned.
Also, wait a second.
Sorry, to even more specifically, it has been stated by Rafalge, it is a collab between Rafalge, Hirope, and Lexa.
Actually, Hasagawa is a pretty interesting artist because For some of you who don't know their works, at least like in the standard tournaments, now there were maps from their songs, Sabakude and Desert, which are annoying to play in standard, and now we're getting this in Taiko as a tiebreaker. That is insane, and I love this. I do love this.
So yeah, very, very good tiebreaker. Very, very good choice by the mappers, of course. This map, not easy. It's a step up from quarterfinals, of course, being in semifinals now. There are some very difficult snappings, but there's SV in this map that is very confusing, as you will see. Can catch people off guard, I would say, but it's very, very good. Here we go. I got some SV changes now.
And also snapping changes in that, and that is painful. As much as this mono is.
Yeah. For those of you who know Hakushi Yasukawa, you'll understand that this is going to be very technically challenging. We see SV changes here in the stream. This will be a map that will be very intense, I think, if we see people taking it to tiebreaker. And I hope for people's sake that they do not mod this, because that just seems like certain death. I can't lie.
I mean, there will definitely be someone crazy enough to attempt HR on this, I think. But, again, someone crazy doesn't have to be in this tournament to attempt
So
it.
far, as you can see, Bongo players are being punished really hard. That's not how it's going to remain for long, because there are sections coming up that KDDK players are going to suffer in. This map targets everyone, every skill set, every playstyle. This map is brutal. It is a tiebreakers for semifinals. It has to be.
It doesn't even look like a tiebreaker, it looks like hell. Nobody's safe from this. You cannot hide from this. Adashimite will always arrive.
This may be forced no mod, but that doesn't change that people may decide to mod it in their free time, out with the tournament, and that is more what I'm talking about. If people decide to take this on with mods, out with the tournament setting, you're crazy.
Just like the swimmers.
And here we go. Absolutely Brisso. The SV changes. I imagine are going to trip up a lot of people. This one, again, you don't want to be sight reading this.
No, that is an interesting slider with a Dawn inside it.
Yeah, guys, you like speed? Have some speed. You like soul sections? You get some soul sections. You like tech? Have some tech. You like SV? Get SV. Streams? Yeah, we'll throw some of them into. Lots and lots of finishers, of course, as is constant with this pool.
Yeah, you have to observe this special
Congratulations,
map.
you are now in mutual hell for KDDK players and Bongo players.
It's kind of interesting that KDDK doesn't have any specific funny names, and DDKK and KKDG have Bongo. What is this discrimination, though?
I will say, I kind of love that it targets every skill set though, playstyle, because it just means you're not giving people unfair advantages. And I think we should big up Rafalge, Hiroke, and Lixa as well. It's such a good map, to be fair. We don't often see Hakushi Hasagawa, especially showing up for a tiebreaker, so big respect on that.
Yeah,
and also massive respect for, again, Replayer M, because look at this.
The M is insane. And honestly, can't wait for MV2 when the decoration is higher. And what?
The 100 at the end, that's so sad. That was a 3-100 FC until that fourth one came in at the end. But still, That is insane. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
The
Huge
mysterious
props to all the replayers
insane.
and mappers, and the semifinals is where it gets tough for some of the teams, and where you might see even more kind of sad knockouts happen. But again, it is not the end of the adventure. It might be just the start for some. And that's going to be it for us on the semifinals Semifinals Showcase. My name was Aguacate, aka Battle Cowboy, and I was joined by.
I'm Ethereal Winter, of course, and thank you so much, everyone who came along. I can't wait to see how the matches go on. Hopefully you all enjoy the pool. I think it will be a very, very interesting week coming up, and I can't wait to see the matches. So yeah, from us, we will see you next time. Bye!